Thank you very much. Thanks to all of our witnesses. What we'll do now is proceed with some rounds of questioning. We'll do 7-minute rounds per member. We'll alternate. This is a very bipartisan panel, so I'm sure that the questions are going to be outstanding. And I'll start. Mr. Chief Rubin, let me just start with you. Chief, thank you again for being here. Let's just get right down to it. Trucks cost more than ever.
Yes, sir.
They're taking longer than ever to get to you.
Without a doubt, Senator.
How has that affected you directly?
In a very negative way. We have a limited budget. We're a urban community that has limited resources, limited tax resources, outcry from the community to lower taxes, but yet, in fact, we have to pay more for fire trucks. Remarkably so, sir.
You told the story in your opening statement about an incident when you had 5 out of 15 trucks out of service. You were having to respond with SUVs. You didn't have hose. You didn't have ladders. I mean, this is putting people's lives in danger, is it not? Is that fair to say?
Without a doubt. First and foremost, we worry about the firefighters' lives so that they can protect the citizens. And secondly, our citizens were unprotected. If there would have been a person on the second floor in need of rescue, they would have had to wait for the real fire truck to show up, sir.
Gosh, that's just unbelievable. Mr. Kelly, can I just ask you, you talked in your statement about the fact that every city in America practically is struggling with its fire fleets. We saw this in Los Angeles. You told your own personal story. Where else have you seen these effects? Where else have you seen firefighters put under the gun, so to speak, because of the lack of ready, available equipment that is ready to go?
Stories come out of every city, but I'd like to point to Chicago. About 2.5 months ago, they had a fire on the west side of Chicago. One of the first dual ladder trucks, Tower Ladder 14, responded with the spare piece. When they went to throw that aerial to effect rescues, it failed. They had to go down, shut it down, restart the whole apparatus again, get it back up into its hydraulic aerial, and then get it to move. That costs time. Time is lives on a fire ground. Now, unfortunately and sadly, we lost 4 civilians at that fire, including a young 5-year-old and that 5-year-old's mother. Now, the real sad part is, I spoke with the lieutenant that was in charge of Tower Ladder 14 that night. Today, September 10th, 2.5 months later, at this very time, at 3:45 Eastern time, that very same spare rig is in service at Tower Ladder 14 in the west side of Chicago. That's wrong. That's not the only story. They had engine 121 that lost its brakes, crashed into a church. Now, you heard the story about Kevin Kelly. We're lucky we didn't lose firefighters and civilians. We had another ladder truck going down the street, and the wheel came off, and it crashed into cars. We're lucky we didn't kill anybody. This is happening time and time again. We have, as Chief Rubin pointed out, sometimes we have firefighters responding in pickup trucks, like a painting crew with ground ladders on it. It's scary, and it's in every city. It's a challenge everywhere. Rural, suburban, volunteer fire departments, paid professional.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Virnig, let me just turn to you. You are a part of one of these companies, the Rev Group, that along with 1 or 2 others accounts for about 80% of the market here. I wanted to show you something that one of your customers said recently. This is Matthew Timmerman of Watertown, New York. He's a fire chief there. This is in May of 2021. He ordered a $1.2 million ladder truck. The initial delivery estimate was for 380 days. It's right up there at the top of the poster. 380 days delivery estimate from your company. In December of 2022, 557 days after the order was placed, Watertown was forced to purchase a used ladder truck from a neighboring town because they were so desperate. Do you know if Watertown's truck that they ordered back in 2021 has yet arrived, Mr. Virnig?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I'm not 100% sure if it's arrived, but I know that it was in production as of recently.
It has not arrived is the answer. My question to you is, why the heck not? It cost $1.2 million, $1,232,370 million. I mean, what's going on here? Why can't anybody get their trucks? Why is the delivery time so slow? What's happening?
So in the case of Watertown, Senator, we bought KME in 2016. KME
bought a lot of companies.
Well, KME was within weeks of closing down their factory. They were going out of business. We maintained our factory in Nescahoning for 5 years, trying to get it to turn around and be a profitable company. We made a decision to close that factory and move those trucks to our other facilities to build them, and in that process, there are a handful of trucks that got behind.
Well, a handful. I mean, what's your backlog right now? What's the approximate value of it? Do you know?
It's in the, I think, $2 billion something.
No, I think it's $4 billion in backlogs right now. The Rev Group, there you are in the black. $4 billion, and that's by design, isn't it, Mr. Virnig? I mean, this didn't just happen to you accidentally. I mean, this is a business decision, isn't it? You keep these backlogs like this. Isn't that right?
That is not correct, Senator.
Really? I mean, that's not what your CEO said. Let's take a look here. Your CEO said that it is your business practice to have these backlogs. Let me just read to you, and I think we'll find the quote. He said, our $4.5 billion backlog is attractive among industrial manufacturers, is largely backed by municipal tax receipts, and offers significant value accretion opportunity, providing a pathway for growth and margin expansion over the coming years. That was on your Q4 2024 earnings call.
So, Senator, we have guaranteed contract pricing. So for us to have a contract every day that it gets older, we actually have less opportunity to make money on that truck because of cost inputs going up.
My point is this, it's not as if it's just accidental. It's not one or two trucks. It's $4 billion worth of trucks that are backlog. It is a deliberate company strategy that your CEO is boasting about on his earning calls. By the way, speaking of earnings, how are your earnings these days?
We posted a decent quarter, but I would point out.
What's your margin right now about profit margin?
About 9.5%, 10%.
Well, I think it's over 13, actually. I mean, before your private equity company created your company, I mean, rolled up all of these competitors, you had margins at about 4 or 5%. Now they're over 13%. Your profits have grown 5 times over the last 5 years, $250 million, but nobody can get their equipment. I mean, you've got enormous profits. You have a huge backlog. These guys can't get any of their equipment. Where's the money going? You're making a gob of money. Like, where's it going? Not to their trucks. Where's it going?
Well, Senator, you're putting up numbers that are the whole division. We're talking about the fire division, so the numbers that I gave were fire division, but it's the same story. But if you look at 2025, the first 3 quarters of 2025, our operating profit is 3.7%.
Where's the money going? It's not going into production lines. You just said that you closed them. You've closed multiple production lines. You've closed them in Pennsylvania. You've closed them in Virginia. Your backlog is higher than ever. Your CEO's boasting about it. Your profits are incredible. Where's it going?
Senator, we reinvest in our businesses every single day. We've invested
millions in production?
Yes, we do.
Let me just ask you this. How much does your CEO make?
I believe that it's posted that he made about $6 million.
Yeah, $6 million. These guys can't get a truck. He's making $6 million. Have you spent any money on stock buybacks or dividends or payouts to your private equity ownership?
So we don't have any private equity ownership.
You did until just last year when they sold the company at a very considerable profit. My question is, have you been the last few years while you were owned by private equity, while you were stiffing these guys on the delivery of their trucks, did you spend any money? You're spending gobs of money on CEO compensation. Have you spent any money on stock buybacks or payouts to your private equity owners?
There's been allocation of resources in a lot of different areas. And
in particular, it's $530 million in stock buybacks and dividend payments over the last few years, isn't it? Sound right?
Yeah, take your word for it, Senator.
And a special $180 million dividend payment to your private equity owners just before they sold the company. Does that sound right?
Well, I think what you're referring to is a $3 dividend that was paid to all stockholders, but that was
No, I'm referring to a special dividend that was paid out, $180 million, the vast majority of which went to your private equity ownership right before they exited. Another word for this would be a heist. This sounds to me like private equity came in, bought up all of these small companies, as you described it, good American manufacturing companies, combined them, shut down their production, rolled up a huge backlog, massive profits, stiffed these guys, and now you're making out like bandits. Is there anything you'd like to say to these good men and the men and women they represent, whose lives are in danger because of your company's business practices?
Senator, I would. I mean, everything we do in the fire division is to build more trucks. We've increased our throughput by 40%. We've introduced S-180s, 20 different models of fire trucks that are less money and can be delivered under a year, because we also agree that backlogs are too long. This was because of a 43% increase in orders between 2022 and 2023, and we are working every day to get those lower.
If that were the truth, you wouldn't have shut down production lines. You wouldn't have allowed the backlog to reach the level that it is. You wouldn't be boasting about it on earnings calls, and you wouldn't be compensating your CEO when your customers are getting stiffed. Frankly, I think it's pretty indefensible. Senator Kim.